That was an unprecedented swipe. Unprecedented. Seriously? I'm so sick of that word. Really? Unprecedented? Oh my gosh.
Hey there, my name is Zed Howie, and this is Howie Grow a Brand.
1, 2, 3.
If you like what you learned from this video, help us promote this channel by clicking the like button below and subscribing to our channel. Ready to go? Let's get into today's chat.
It is safe to say the last 12 months have been unprecedented. And it's also safe to say if I never hear that word again, I will be beyond ecstatic. So, we are like going into month 13, and I don't know about you, but I've been kind of reflecting on what I was thinking and feeling this time last year. And just as an aside, if you're watching this episode like in 2023 and 2024, I sure do hope we're living the roaring 20s, because that's what I've been waiting for. In all seriousness, we have faced things in the last 12 months that we have not faced before. And unprecedented is annoying but true. And so as I was doing some reflection the last couple days as to where I am, where my team is, where my customers are, where our clients are, where other brands are, I was reminded of some thoughts that we formulated for our clients, really more like into April, May of 2020, as things were starting to slightly reopen. Some things, many things not. And what I realized as I was going through my notes is that these three things remain true. And they're not situational. These three things are the basic principles of call to action messaging for your brand. And it's where we often forget to communicate because we're so proud of who we are and what we do. And as I was looking at my notes, like literally my notes from last year, it really hit me that these three things are not a situational response to a world crisis. These three things are basic things that every brand needs to, should be, could be doing more deliberately, more effectively. And perhaps your brand may need to do these more deliberately and more effectively as well. So what are they? Three things. First, invite. Are you being deliberate about inviting people into your brand community? This goes not only for your external community, your customers, but also people you're trying to entice to join your team, to be a part of your team, to hire. Are you being deliberate about inviting? Now, there's a thing called CTA, which is call to action. And that's that thing where buy now or order now, offer expires in the next 12 hours, okay? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, are you being invitational, making it easy for people to step into your brand community, your brand environment? Are you making it easy literally for them to feel welcome as they walk in your door, literally or figuratively? But when you invite them, especially new customers, new prospects, you're asking them to take a risk by choosing to draw their attention to you versus somewhere else or something more familiar. So as they come into, especially new customers or customers that you're inviting back, as they come back into your brand environment, are you ensuring them that the risk they're taking is worth it because of the reward you're going to deliver them? Think about the role of an usher at a wedding, or an usher at, so used to, we would buy a ticket for an event and it would be this big room with lots of seats. And there was someone there, hopefully with a smile, oftentimes with a program that would help us get safely to our seat and ensure we're in the right place to experience what we paid for. That is assurance. That is ushering. So maybe one of the ways that you can woo your customers better is to have an ushering plan, especially for your new customers and your new prospects. So it's great to invite them, but you got to assure them. But then where we often miss it is that we entice them with something special once they show up. We think about enticing customers to get them to look at us. But what about enticing customers who have looked at us with appreciation, with a thank you, with something unexpected, with an extra effort, an extra thing that makes their risk to accept your invitation and to recognize your assurances. So think about the ushers, okay? The usher that is there just so that they could be a part of the bachelor's weekend, the frat boy. And then there's some ushers at the wedding that they really do want you to feel good about being there, right? There's typically 1 out of 5 at least. But anyway, so the usher, in my case, offers my wife his arm. I'm walking behind them, which has always been interesting. But anyway, walking behind them. And as we get to the row, instead of just dropping us and leaving us, the usher goes, ma'am, I want to put you here so that you can have a better view of the service. That little touch creates a whole different experience. It was unnecessary, but so enticing. We're talking about food. It always come back to restaurants because you know what? Restaurants are universal. I mean, whether you are not eating in restaurants right now or eating in restaurants, we have a common denominator that it is such an illustration of the reality of business and brands. Anyway, so think about the same thing. The hostess or host at the restaurant who literally just is a wayfinder versus ushering you into the experience that you want. Think about the flight attendant. The flight attendant who just like right now, literally just kind of looks at you and using like tongs or the tip of their finger hands you a sanitation package. Or the flight attendant who you walk on the plane and says, "How are you today? Can I help you find your seat?" The reality is that the last 12 months have been unprecedented. But you know what? Hopefully the next 12 months are unprecedented as well. Perhaps they're unprecedented in the way that we do start leaning more into the roaring 20s. That maybe as we feel more safe, and it is more safe for returning to some things like theaters and stuff, or your store, or your office, your employees, that we remember that the things that work in times of fear are also the things that work in times of folly. And that is that if you want to ensure that you are engaging powerfully with not only your customers, but also those who you want to be your customer, and frankly, engaging with your employees, as well as those you'd like to be your employees, there are 3 things you got to do. You got to invite them. You have to assure it is worth them taking you up on the invitation. And then when they show up, make sure you don't forget to entice them. Or perhaps another way to say that is woo them.
Hey, I really hope this helps and inspires your day. If any of this works on your business this week, I'd love to hear about it in the comments, or hey, just message me. Can't wait to see what we chat about next time on How We Grow a Brand. We'll see you soon.